Hello and welcome to TTVNEWS, some latest events in the province, and now coming to details. Ladies and gentlemen, on the afternoon of May 7, Mr. Phạm Hùng Thái, Permanent Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, heads of the National Assembly Delegation of TayNinhTV Province and National Assembly Delegate, including Ms. Hoàng Thị Thanh Thúy, Mr. Huỳnh Thanh Phương, and Mr. Trần Hữu Hậu, has a meeting with the departments, branches, army forces, and religions in the province before the 7 sessions of the 15th National Assembly.
Some opinions given by voters at a meeting related to contents such as road law and road traffic safety order law, regulations on penalties for alcohol concentration when participating in traffic, handling of encroachment on road traffic safety corridors, pay attention to the work of preventing traffic congestion at educational establishments. In addition, they also have comments related to the amended law on social insurance, specifically as follows: employers must be guaranteed and optimize their rights based on the principle of contribution, benefit, and safety, balance, and role of the social insurance fund in the long term. On behalf of the National Assembly delegation of TayNinhTV Province, Mr. Phạm Hùng Thái received and explained the issues raised by voters.
According to the directions of Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính in his concluding speech at the conference, announcing TayNinhTV provincial planning for the period of 2021-2030 with a mission to 2050, it must not allow the asking-giving mechanism to easily create negativity. He requested ministry and central branches to continue to be proactive, actively accompany and coordinate closely with TayNinhTV to remove obstacles and difficulties in the process of implementing the plan, improve enforcement capacity at all levels, strengthen inspection and supervision. Tasks of the ministry and branches together with TayNinhTV are to help TayNinhTV realize this plan. Currently need to actively and proactively contribute according to your function and duty to support TayNinhTV without wasting much of its time. The Prime Minister hoped that investors will promote their mission in the spirit of three together between the state, people, and businesses. He requested the business community, investors, ministries, branches, and authorities of TayNinhTV province and locality that if said, then do; if committed, then do; if done. There must be a specific product with substantial result. It must be clearly recorded. On them to contribute to strengthen trust, creating new momentum and new motivation for the development of the province.
According to Minister of Planning and Investment Nguyễn Chí Dũng, up to now, there are 9 projects out of 29 important transportation projects linking the Southeast region which have been started and are in the process of implementing investment procedures. Among 29 important projects linking the Southeast region, 4 projects have been started. They include construction of ring road of Ho Chi Minh City, Tân Sơn Nhất Airport, Biên Hòa Vũng Tàu Expressway, Phase 1 of Long Thành International Airport. Expresses including Ho Chi Minh City Mộc Bài, Trân Thành Gia Nghĩa, Ho Chi Minh City Trân Thành Dầu Dây Liên Khương, Trân Thành Đức Hòa belong to 5 ongoing projects during the implementation phase of investment procedures.
At the May 2024 regular meeting of the Standing Committees of the Provincial People Council, the Provincial People Committee represented a proposal to develop a resolution stipulating the content and level expenditure for carrying out the legal dissemination and education work, standard for access to the law and conciliation at grassroots level in the province. According to the report, it is expected that the average total budget will be implemented each year from 2024 and the following year for the work of disseminating legal education, legal access standard, and grassroots conciliation according to the circulars of the Ministries of Finance in TayNinhTV province, specifically as follows: provincial level over 5.4 billion Vietnamese dong, district level over 854 million Vietnamese dong, and communal level over 267 million Vietnamese dong. Fundings come from the respective regular expenditure budget for each level. In addition, there is also funding from individual, organizations, businesses at home and abroad, and other legal funding sources according to the provisions of law. This proposal has been approved by the Standing Committees of the Provincial People Council.
On the morning of May 7, the organizing committee of Padang Mountain Prince Festival in the Year of Dragon 2024 have a conference to summarize these events, along with the attendances of Mr. Trần Văn Chiến, Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee.
According to the organizing committee of Baden Mountain Spring Festival, this year's festival attracted more than 1.5 million tons of visitors. On the opening day of Spring Festival, the fourth day of Lunar New Year, there were more than 200,000 tons of visitors. The opening ceremony of the Spring Festival was organized thoughtfully and majestically, attracting a large number of visitors. This year, relevant units are determined to overcome the shortcomings of previous years. I acknowledge and praise the efforts of the organizing committee of Baden Mountain Spring Festival in the year of the Dragon 2024. In order to perform better in the following years, I request that the organizing committee, branches and localities continue to research and advise the Provincial Youth Committee to organize the Spring Festival with many typical and diverse types of culture and arts, while still preserving the value of local traditional festival. On this occasion, many groups and individuals with achievements in organizing and serving the Baden Mountain Spring Festival in the year of the Dragon 2024 received certificates of merit from the chairman of the Provincial People's Committee.
At TayNinh Department of Education and Training, TayNinh Provincial Study Promotion Association organized a training conference on using the software toolkit to evaluate and recognize the title Learning Citizen for the periods of 2021-2030 in TayNinh City, Leicester, Hoa Thanh Town, and Giao Thanh District on the mornings of May 7. The conference informed Decision 324 in 2023 of the Central Vietnam Association for Promoting of Learning, promulgating a set of criteria and guidelines for evaluating and recognizing the title Learning Citizen for the periods of 2021-2030, wrote a guiding document, a set of framework and detailed criteria, disseminated toolkits to support Learning Citizen assessment for delegates.
Accordingly, the planning was issued together with Decision number 1736, dated December 29, 2023, of the Prime Minister, regarding the goal by 2030 TayNinh strives to become a dynamic, civilized, developed locality with a good living environment well adapted to climate change, becoming a locality worth visiting and living. Vision to 2050, TayNinh becomes a province with a developed economy based on clean industry and high-tech agriculture. Trade and tourism develop and are the international trade gateway of the Southeast region in the whole country. The province has an effective public administration system, a friendly business environment, and an attractive living environment based on the sustainable and diverse ecosystem. To achieve this goal, the provincial plan identifies 7 development breakthroughs of the province, determine plans to organize socio-economic activities according to rate development reasons, 4 driving forces, 1 social security belt. Through the provincial planning for the period of 2021-2030, Vision to 2050, TayNinh Province conveys the following message: Green TayNinh, attractive living environment, international trade gateway, attractive destination, fast, comprehensive, and sustainable development. Develop dynamically, civilized, have a good living environment, and adapt to climate change. Effective public administration system, friendly business environment. According to Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, TayNinh Province planning for the period of 2021-2030 with a vision to 2050 has clearly defined the province development motivation. The Prime Minister expressed his satisfaction when TayNinh identified a social security access in the plan to organize socio-economic activities. The Prime Minister suggested that TayNinh need to focus on mobilizing on resources to implement the plan, breakthrough into traditional driving forces including consumption, export and investment, adding new motivations that are modern and trendy such as green economy, digital economy. Besides, the province also needs to increase investment in developing human factors, enhance regional connectivity, promote synchronous development of strategic infrastructure, investing in production, processing and manufacturing, taking advantage of making products on the spot. The Prime Minister also directed ministries and sectors to, based on their functions and powers, to accompany and work with TayNinh to well implement the approved planning. The Prime Minister believes that with TayNinh's resilient tradition, it will develop at the right level and rise in the future.
The audience as one of the soldiers of the 312 Division, now is the 312 Division 12th Army Corps, who directed participating in the Điện Biên Phủ campaign. One D-Day, Mr. Trịnh Thế Khoa, born in 1926 and currently living in Suối Đá, Khmer Miếu, Dư Minh Châu District, fondly recall a brilliant milestone of Điện Biên Phủ victory, which resulted throughout the 5 continents and was world-shaking.
70 years ago, in the land of Bohemia Varigata, robbery 112, one of the main groups of the Vietnam People's Army, was the fighting force that opened the Điện Biên Phủ campaign in 1954 at Him Lam Base that captured the Castries bunker and captured this commanding general. During 56 days and nights of the campaign, Mr. Trịnh Thế Khoa and his comrades cleverly and courageously participated in 20 major battles. They destroyed 17 enemy companies and captured more than 4,000 prisoners. I participated in the Battle of Him Lam. I attacked fence number 5. After completing this battle, I entered the bunker. At that time, the entire battalion died. Only 12 people survived. I was informed that I had been admitted to the party by a battalion political officer. He said that all surviving comrades should remember that Comrade Trịnh Thế Khoa was admitted to the Vietnam Labour Party at the front. At that time, I was shaking, but I felt so excited. A son of Hải Dương, at the age of 22, he joined the revolution, working as a lieutenant in the former province of Quảng Yên. By the end of 1932, he joined the 312th Army, from where he and his teammates achieved resounding victories. 98 years old and 70 years old for the party. Although his own and his heart is weak, his love for the party is still intact, like his work under the party flag in the past. Before joining the party, I had many wishes, so when I joined the party, I was extremely excited. I promised to work for the party until my last breath. Comrades in the party cell advised me to quit because they were worried about my health when they saw that I could still ride a bike, but I promised to do it. I couldn't give up. During the days of May, people across the country turned to Điện Biên, a land with glorious history written on it. On April 23, 2024, Mr. Trịnh Thế Khoa and other veterans and young volunteers who participated in the Điện Biên Phủ campaign had the opportunity to meet with party and state leaders on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of Điện Biên Phủ victory, May 7, 1954, May 7, 2024. After listening to Mr. Khoa to talk about the battles at Điện Biên Phủ, I respected and was grateful to the heroes who sacrificed their life to defend the country. As the young generation, youth union members in this new era, we promise to strive, study and train ourselves to build an increasingly prosperous and civilized country. 70 years have passed, but the echoes of the Điện Biên Phủ victory is still forever, urging the younger generation to try harder to cultivate virtue, practice talent, and devote themselves to continuing to write the glorious history of the nation, promoting the immortal spirit of the heroic Điện Biên Phủ victory in the work of building and defending the fatherland.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hải Vân resistant blast furnace was built in 1951, located in a cave in Bến Sung Town, Như Thanh Mountainous District, Thanh Hóa Province. This is considered the first iron furnace to produce weapons, contributes to the Điện Biên Phủ victory, miracles of Vietnamese militaries at that time. This rallies a historic testimonies of our enemies and people in the resistance wars against the French colonial police and for national independences.
September 1951, Vietnam Military Ordnance Department, Ministries of National Defense built a blast furnace to produce iron in a cave in Bến Sung Town. It was later named Hải Vân Resistant Blast Furnace. Hundreds of tons of machinery, equipment, and material from factories in Nghệ An and Hà Nam was transferred here for reconstruction. The first Baroque gun produced here was brought in to have our soldier defeat an enemy battalion in Hải Vân Pass. So after that, people named it as Hải Vân Resistant Blast Furnace as a commemoration. Later, the commune was installed and took the name Hải Vân. In just a short time, the iron casting furnace with the code number NX3 was installed and put into operation. It produced 3 tons of the cast iron per day to supply weapon factories. According to the statistics, from the end of 1951 to July 1954, Hải Vân Blast Furnace produced nearly 500 tons of cast iron, meeting the reduction requirement of weapons such as mines, grenade, mortar, and bazooka bullets serving the battlefield. The French attacked here, but the blast furnace was not affected because no matter how many bombs were thrown, they still couldn't fall here, escape only into the riverbed, and it was the same out there. Even though there were bombs all around, there were no damage, especially fortunately there was no loss of life. After the full victory in December 1954, the Hải Vân Resistant Blast Furnace stopped operating. With these historical values, in 2013, the Ministries of Culture, Sport and Tourism ranked the Hải Vân Resistant Blast Furnace as a National Historical Relic. By 2015, Thanh Hóa Province implemented the project to reserve, restore and promote the values of this monument.
With a sense of responsibility and aspiration to build the Southwest region into a civilized modern region with developed industry surpassing the threshold of high income, the leading material and spiritual life from the people across the country, leaders of ministry, sectors, and provincial cities in the region had in-depth discussions and proposed proposals and recommendations in implementing key and dynamic projects of the Southwest region in the 2021-2030 period. A vision to 2050 has been expected in the planning. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính said that overall the tasks assigned to the Southwest region are much higher than those of the rest of the country. To well implement the approved regional planning, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính pointed out 5 important keyword phrases: acceleration, breakthrough, pioneering, close connection, sustain, and efficiency. Along with that, policy mechanisms and transport infrastructure are rapidly advancing. Management must be smart in accordance with new development trends. Along with that is associated with creativity, promoting science and technology, digital economy, circularity, and green economy. On the basis of further promoting and comprehensively synchronizing on 3 strategic breakthroughs. He also affirmed the specific viewpoint of implementing the planning closely to the policy guidelines, ensuring seamless compliance with the planning, closely follow local, regional, and world realities, be flexible in implementation, closely follow the requirements of business people. Identifying resources is important. With good thinking, there will be good policies, proactively build policies for region, determined to direct the policy mechanisms of asking and giving. For the specific task, the Ministry of Planning and Investment develops a plan for this master plan, focused on restructuring the economy towards a more modern direction, developing in-depth industry, prioritize investment in key dynamic projects, Biên Hòa Airport, Trân Thành Expressway, Ho Chi Minh City, Mộc Bài Expressway, focus on human resource development training and talent attraction training, promote administrative reform and business investment environment, promote regional coordination activities. The approved planning for the Southwest region is creating a new atmosphere. The positivity and creativity of the entire political system of the provinces and cities in the region are being promoted. However, the development of the provinces in the Southwest region has advantages, but there are also bottlenecks. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính said that compared to the region's potential and the wishes of the whole country, the Southwest region needs to innovate more and strive harder, so that the Southwest takes the lead in innovating role models and digital transformation, developing the fields of culture, society, education, training, health, green economy development, low carbon emissions, adaptation to climate change, rapidly develop a green, smart and modern urban system.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.